Scandal number 1. Witness protection and a spy story. Russia. 2014 Sochi Winter Games. This scandal is off the charts. Russia is hosting the Winter Games. The crowd is huge, and the expectation is that they're going to dominate the medal count. And they did dominate the medal count, becoming the #1 medal leader after the Games. But it wasn't real. The head of Russia's anti-doping lab, Grigory Rodchenkov, was supposed to catch the cheaters. Years later, he would come forward as a whistleblower with a story that sounds like a spy novel. Turns out, Russia had created a whole system to cheat, with the backing of the government, a state-sponsored doping program. But this is not the craziest part. Russians dug a hole in the wall at the Sochi lab where athletes' samples were tested. At night, the dirty samples would go out the hole and the clean samples would go back in. Athletes would be using performance enhancers, and the people who were supposed to catch the cheaters would actually be helping them cheat. When the scandal finally got out, it got huge. Medals were stripped, and athletes were banned from sports forever. Russia got kicked out of the sports they wanted to participate in. Rodchenkov had to go into witness protection because he had blown the whistle on the whole doping operation, a victory built on lies, eventually crumbled to dust. Scandal number 2. The terrible attack on Nancy Kerrigan. Well, brace yourself because this is even worse. It's 1994, and figure skating is huge. In the US, they have not one but 2 top skaters who are trying to make it onto the Olympic team: Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding. These ladies hate each other. It's not exactly a pretty rivalry. Kerrigan goes out for a practice session and is walking down a hall when suddenly she's struck in the knee by a baton-wielding assailant. It's pretty obvious what the motive is. They wanted to injure her so she wouldn't be able to compete in the upcoming Olympics. It looks for a minute like it's just some crazed fan who's lost it completely. But as the investigation goes on, it becomes pretty obvious that the culprit is from Tonya Harding's side. Harding denied the whole thing, but admitted to having helped cover it up after the fact. Her ex-husband and bodyguard were involved too. It started out as a rivalry, but ended as a crime. Both skaters make it onto the Olympic team, but their lives will never be the same. Kerrigan is the hero that the US can get behind, while Harding is the villain in a plot that looks more and more like a crime drama. The world watched what extreme pressure can do to athletes, and how desperation can drive violence. Scandal number 3. East Germany's secret doping program. During the Cold War, East Germany seemed to dominate the Winter Olympics, with medals stacked on top of medals everywhere you looked, and the question on everyone's lips: how do they do it? Well, the answer to that question came later, when the Berlin Wall came down and records started to come to light. The results were shocking. Athletes, many of them teens, were being injected with steroids and other medications. The cruel part, they had no idea. It was a doping program, and it was sponsored by the government. The athletes were told they were being given vitamins, that it was part of their training. Some of these athletes ended up with serious problems: hormonal imbalances, organ damage, and serious mental problems. They weren't cheating on purpose. They were victims. Medals were won, and national pride soared. But at what cost? The lives of kids who trusted their coaches and their government. It's not sport, it's abuse. Scandal number 4. Salt Lake City bribery. The bidding wars for the Olympics begin before the Games even start. It's all about representing Olympic values, right? Not really. The Salt Lake City bid for the 2002 Winter Games was marred by actual bribery. Committee officials were discovered to have accepted gifts, scholarships for their children, luxury trips, money, this in exchange for votes. Millions of dollars spent to influence a few key people. Corruption had invaded even the selection of the venue for the Games. When the scandal was revealed, hell broke loose. Officials were expelled. the bidding process was changed. Media covered the scandal for days, illustrating just how far these officials were willing to go. The games bring together the world. Greed arrived first. Scandal number 5, Austria's blood doping raid. The 2006 Winter Olympics in Turin, Italy, were marred by a dramatic raid on the Austrian ski team's living quarters. Police raided the area and found blood doping equipment and everything they needed to artificially boost the level of red blood cells in their athletes. It's a dramatic scene to watch. Athletes trying to hide, police trying to catch the athletes in the act, and the whole scene unfolding before the cameras. It wasn't a rumor or an investigation of a rumor. It's a clear and present moment of the Olympics. Lives and careers were ruined in an instant. Teams were penalized. And again, the Olympics seemed to be a police investigation rather than a celebration of heroic athletes. Scandal number 6. Figure skating judges fixing results. You would think that judges would be honest, unbiased, and fair-minded. But that wasn't the case in the Winter Olympics figure skating competition in 2002. Judges from different countries were engaging in a favor-for-a-favor deal. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. A skater gets a vote from a judge, and then the judge gets a vote from that same skater for another competitor. The scandal resulted in an overhaul of the entire judging system for that sport. Even the people who made the decisions weren't immune to the scandal. Scandal number 7. The human cost. This is the truth that sticks in my mind with all these scandals. The truth is, behind all these scandals, there are real people. These are athletes who have sacrificed their all to a sport they love. Yes, some of them cheated knowingly, but many of them were pressured or even conned by their coaches, their governments, or their systems beyond their control. In many books about scandals in the Olympic Games, the harsh truth is revealed that sometimes these athletes are just mere pawns in a bigger game. Lives are affected, careers are over, reputations are destroyed. The fans are left wondering what they're watching. Disclaimer: I guess it's time for me to come clean about all these scandals. While not all of the athletes or officials involved in these scandals were guilty of anything, these scandals point out that sports, just like our society, is not perfect. The Olympics still produce magic moments, those that unite people, inspire success, and celebrate human excellence. And that's the truth. The truth about history, though, is that winning without character means losing in the end. The truth comes out in the end. Or maybe that's the good news. Maybe the truth is that no matter how much corruption there is, in the end, there's accountability. We try to do better. So here's a question to ponder. Is it possible to have a truly clean Olympics, or is the pressure, money, and winning too much? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think. Want more in-depth looks at the behind-the-scenes stories in sports history and Olympic stories that don't make the highlight reels? Subscribe and click the notification bell. I have more stories to share. Trust me. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.